Good morning, children. Welcome back to the online classes. Today we are going to start with your next chapter of geography, chapter 2, globe, latitudes and longitudes. The earth is a geoid and is flattened at the poles. Geoid means it is a solid figure whose surface corresponds to mean sea level, and it is imagined that it is having an extension under land areas also. So, and it is flattened at the poles. You would have heard in the last classes also that North Pole and South Pole are there. So in poles it is flat. Its circumference is about 40,000 kilometer. Okay, you are knowing about a circle, right? The circle is having a 360-degree circumference, it is having like that. Its diameter is about 12,756 kilometer across the equator. So equator it is going to call the biggest circle, great circle also. It is difficult to grasp the size of the earth and to explain its many features or locate places on it without some model or aid. Definitely, without having any kind of actual features, we are not able to locate the places or identify or find about the earth. So, we require a model or a aid. A globe is a model representing the earth. Exact from the space, how our earth is going to look like, in the same manner a globe is being made. The earth as represented by the globe on the right is the size of a football. You can see, okay, to your left side you can see figure number 2.1. Globe figure is being mentioned over there. It shows a globe. You might have seen in your school also. Right. Now, globe is going to represent all the actual figure or actual features which we are having on the earth. See the tilted axis. Tilted means what? Slanting, bend little bit, not straight. Globe is looking like that only. You can see on the frame globe is looking little bit tilted. The position is known as slanting, not perpendicular. This is exactly how the earth is positioned on the in space. When you are going to see in the space, earth is bent, slanting like that only. It is tilted at an angle of 23.5 degree from the perpendicular to the plane of the earth's orbit. You can understand this thing by seeing the figures. You can see figure number 2.1, measurement of tilted inclination. At the top you can see one axis is being drawn from north to south direction and straight line is being drawn, that is the perpendicular one, between the distance from the axis north and the straight line, that is 23.5 degree. So 23.5 degree from the perpendicular to the plane of the earth's orbit. In other words, it makes an angle of 66.5 degree with the orbital plane. See here in the middle near the equator you are going to watch. Okay, so that is a plane of, okay, now near the equator you are going to see 23.5 degree and it is going to make an angle of 66.5 degree. The globe is known to rotate on a line passing through its center. That is an imaginary line. Really it is not having any line, but for finding out just an imaginary line we are going to think. This line is known as its axis, okay, on which it is going to rotate. Thus a line on which a heavenly body is thought to rotate is known as its axis. Okay, heavenly bodies are rotating on its axis only, a line on a line that is being called as an axis. The globe also shows how this axis passes through the North Pole and the South Pole. Okay, north and south direction there is a crisscross line. Vertical and horizontal both the lines are present. So how this axis passes through the north and south pole, you can see in figure number 2.2, north and south line is given, axis is written over there. Now again observe the globe with respect to what is drawn on it. It shows accurate shape and size of continent and various other features. You can see the globe, see. And you can rotate the globe also. You can see the backside portion of the earth also. So you can see this, see, South America is smaller, Africa is bigger, and in the same manner other continents also you can find the exact things over there. Now here this information points to the fact that what you get from the globe is correct with respect to the actual position existing on earth. Actually the earth's position is like that only. Similarly you will get lot of other information from the globe. See, from the space, when you are going to see the globe, you are going to see it is also called a blue planet. In earlier chapter chapter 1 we have studied. Okay, so this part is going to be seen as ocean, river, seas and oceans also you can see. All the continents you can see. In the globe you can find out. Now, lines of latitudes and longitudes. See, in the globe only you can see there are the crisscross lines. Like you are having a graph book. In that also you are having the grid lines over there in the same manner. Carefully look at the globe. These appears a framework of crisscross lines in some regular order. The distance are same. The framework of intersecting line is called the grid. Okay, the line where it is going to join, that is called, intersecting line is called the grid. The horizontal lines are known as latitudes and the vertical lines are called longitudes. Study these lines carefully and how they are drawn on the globe. These lines make the globe an interesting diagram and they are very much helpful to locate the places on the earth. If you are going to, you are having the knowledge to find out the latitudes and longitudes, then easily you can locate the places on the earth. While studying geometry in your maths, you might have learned that a circle has a 360-degree circumference. The straight line passing through the center of the circle, that is going to measure 0 degree. Right, then only it is going to divide it into two parts. A degree is further subdivided into 60 minutes, written as this symbol. Okay. A minute is further split into 60 seconds and it is written in this symbol. The same principle are applied to measure the lines of latitudes and longitudes on the globe. As in geometry, you are going to measure the minutes and seconds. The symbols are mentioned in the same manner. If the symbols are mentioned to represent the globe, lines of latitudes and longitudes, they are going to represent. See the diagram 2.3, inclination of the earth on its axis. See, vertical lines from the earth's orbital plane, here Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Near the equator you are going to see. In the north side it is Tropic of Cancer. In south side it is Tropic of Capricorn, right? North pole in the north side, south pole in the southern side. Now we are going to study about the latitudes. These lines are drawn horizontally on the globe and they are parallel to each other. They are moving like that only. The whole circle is made in that manner only. These parallels of latitude converge into a point on the top and bottom, that is the north and south. Where the axis passes through these points are known as North Pole and South Pole, respectively. The circular lines halfway between the North and South Pole is known as the equator. You can see in diagram 2.4c, equator it is 0 degree and the lines are drawn parallel to each other, right? So that 0 degree, it is an equator. It is going to divide the earth into two equal hemisphere, right? The upper part is called the northern hemisphere and down it is called the southern hemisphere, right? Now the part of the globe that lies to the north, it is northern hemisphere, to the south it is southern hemisphere. Based on the properties of a circle, the lines of latitude maintain uniform angular distance between each other. See, all the lines which is going to be parallel over there, so they are having the similar distance only. Angular distance, uniform angular distance is going to pass it out. So latitude is also defined as angular distance from north or south of the equator. As seen in the above diagram, the equator is 0 degree latitude. All other lines are drawn at the distance of 1 degree angle towards the north and towards the south of the equator. Go on increasing in value. Okay, 1, 2, 3 like that it is going on increasing. And it reducing the length till they converge into a point. Means till in the north pole they are going to reduce the length of the lines which is going on, they are going to reduce towards the north pole and towards the south pole also. That is how north pole and the south pole measures 90 degree. Okay, from 1 degree angle it is going to start and it is reaches 90 degree north and 90 degree south each. While specifying the latitude of a place, letter N and S is added to indicate whether a place lies north or south of the equator. Okay, if it is being said 40 degree N latitude, it means that the place is in the northern hemisphere. Further, since the length of the parallel goes on decreasing towards the pole, 60 degree parallel is half the length of the equator. Equator is going to start from 0 degree. So when it is going to reach to the 60 degree, it is the half the length of the equator. In fact, equator is also known as the longest circle or the great circle. Okay, equator is bigger as compared to the north pole and south pole. So the line which is drawn on the equator, that is the great circle or the longest circle. After that, the lines are going to reduce till they are going to reach to the north pole and south pole. The equator is the diameter of the earth. In case of earth, the exact diameter is 12,756 kilometer. Okay, at the center between near the equator. At 60 degree latitude, earth would measure only half this length across that point. So half you can do, that is 6,378 kilometer, half of that one. The poles are just points and measure 90 degree north, north pole, and 90 degree S, south pole. Magnetic and geographical poles do not coincide with each other. Right. So see the figure it is being mentioned. Upstairs is important lines of latitudes. You can see middle it is equator. Then above the equator, just above the equator. In the north side it is Tropic of Cancer, south side it is Tropic of Capricorn. Then in the south side it is Arctic Circle, sorry, north side it is Arctic Circle and southern side it is Antarctic Circle, and the topmost it is North Pole, below it is South Pole, and the axis is going to cut, right? So these are the lines of longitudes and lines of latitudes, right? So important parallels of latitude. You can see in figure number 2.5 also. 0 degree equator it is going to start. Then in the north side it is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 like that. And in the same manner in the southern part also it is moving 10, 20, 30, 40 likewise till it is going to reach to the 90 degree. Now important parallels. If you turn the globe on its axis in front of a lighted candle, right, it is being imagined to put the candle in between and put the globe in front of that one. You will observe that place near the equator, means in front of the candle, always remain turned towards the sun, right? So equator, it is going to just come in front of the sun in the middle towards the candle. These places receive maximum sunshine, right? To differentiate these places, some important parallels as specified below have been drawn. Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degree north or 23 degree 30 minutes north of the equator. Tropic of Capricorn, 23.5 degrees south or 23.5 degrees south of the equator. Arctic Circle, 66.5 degree north and 66 or 66 degree 30 minutes north of the equator. Antarctic, same manner, 66.5 degrees south or 66 degree 30 minutes south of the equator. The name given to these important lines might give you an idea that there is some relationship between these parallels and amount of sunshine received on the earth. Now about the heat zone, right? So the parallels of latitudes are drawn based on the angle of incidence of the sun or the angle at which the sun shine overhead, right? The rays were reaching overhead. According to that, the heat zone is being divided. Above, important parallels of latitude divide the globe into the following three heat zones, right? First one is tropical zone or the torrid zone. Second one is temperate zone. Third one is frigid zone. So you can see figure number 2.6 is given over here. Important parallels and this one. Important parallels and heat zone. Right. Now, in the middle you see it is given in orange color, that is a torrid zone. It is just coming between in front of the sun and it is going to remain hot throughout the year. Above that it is a temperate zone. That is, they are getting the slanting rays. Torrid zone is going to get the direct rays and temperate zone is getting slanting rays, so there the places are going to receive less heat, right? And again at the top, North Pole and South Pole, they are not at all, the sun is going to raise above the horizon or they are going to raise near the overhead, so that areas are going to remain frigid zone, right? Frozen throughout the year. So three part it is being divided, three heat zone. Now tropical zone or the torrid zone. This zone lies between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. It is the hottest zone of the earth. The sun is always overhead at noon in this zone. This zone receives direct rays of the sun and it is going to remain hot throughout the year. Tropic of Cancer passes midway through India, right? From the mid. The southern half of the India lies in this zone. Now, you know why it is hot in South India. In the South India, you are going to imagine hotness, right? Heat is more because of this only, because it is coming in the tropical zone or torrid zone. Then temperate zone. It is a zone of moderate heat. It lies between the Tropic of Cancer and Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere, Tropic of Capricorn and Antarctic Circle in the southern hemisphere. So sun is never overhead any time of the day beyond the Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn. The amount of heat received goes on decreasing towards the pole. These two zones receive slanting rays, which is less hot. This zone is also described as temperate or moderate heat zone, where too much heat they are not going to receive. Third one is frigid zone. These two zones lies beyond the Arctic and the Antarctic Circle, right, from in the North Pole and South Pole. They are the coldest zone of the earth. In these two zones, the sun never rises above the horizon. The polar region receive minimum solar energy. They are not receiving solar energy because sun is never overhead over that places. The areas remain frozen for most part of the year. So this zone is also known as frigid zone. Right. Now the next here we are going to stop. The meridians of longitude we will continue in the next class. Thank you, children.